Welcome everybody, it's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW.
These sons will beat you.
That's right, folks. Big news flash. Oh my God! VSW.
Brass hats know what time it is. Get up off of your seats and bow down to the king.
One of the greatest in this game and one of my favorite all-time people in this game. The Versace Stoner.
It's places like this. I started in a mill. I'm here still in a mill. I consider myself a mill wrestler.
Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner. We're here with a very special episode of VSW Podcast. Now, normally we're talking about events and different shows. Sometimes, we've been having different guests on, but there's one show in particular that has just been on my mind. Something I've been watching a lot. I really enjoy it. And the more I watch it, the more things I miss, I catch. And that, of course, and if you see the graphic behind me, is the Kill City Cup. What is it? What is the Kill City Cup? What are you, under a freaking rock? Okay, first of all, it's America's most badass tournament, okay? Mr. Kill! He holds like a tournament or something, and, there's all these combatants. So let's take your, pro wrestling, and let's times that by, Mortal Kombat, right? So you have this great tournament, and then it even has, that Twisted Metal feel because, the winner's granted a wish or something, So you have that kind of, Survivor wins. Put it all together, and that's what you got. You got this great tournament full of great characters, out of this world, characters. I'm not going to tell you the matches. I'm not going to get into that because I want you guys to watch it. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to say who wins it. I don't want to talk about that. What I do want to talk about, though, is going to be the production and some of the characters and how that intertwines and what makes this, a 5-star show. That's right, 5 stars. We love it. We love this movie. I mean, we can't get enough of it. And, that's just it. During the, I'll tell you, during the pandemic, there was a lot of tapings coming out and a lot of taped wrestling. And I started to get into that with, seeing some of the cinematic blends that were happening. WWE did it a little bit and their matches were pretty cool, but I also saw some other promotions kind of doing it. And one of them was, I forget the name of it, to be honest. It was, it was late night. I was on IWTV. And, but it had classic music or something in just the warehouse with just a ring and wrestling. And it was very it just synchronized really well. I was like, wow, this is great. And so I started to get into, more of the cinematic blends of wrestling and different things. And, and then the pandemic ended and live wrestling came back and everything was just full steam ahead for live shows again. So I kind of lost into that, realm of, that taped kind of, era. But then I started to see, little blips and blurbs on my timelines about this Kill City Cup. So I'm like, okay, what's this? Let me check it out. And I went to YouTube, and yes, it's free, absolutely free, which is mind-blowing because there's great talent on there. But it's free. You can watch it for nothing. And, right? So I went in there and I watched it, and I was blown away right off the bat just by, how well professionally it was produced. You have cinematics, great. And like I said, you saw what, big corporations like WWE can do. But when you see it on an indie scene or when you see it on a lower scale, done so well and so perfected, it really goes to show, if you want something done, you can get it done with, dedication and heart. And the person behind this film, he put a lot of passion work into this, and it really shines and shows. It really, really does. Lucas did a great job getting this all together. And from everybody that I've interviewed so far, and I plan on doing more interviews with the wrestlers, they all loved working with him. They all enjoyed, his creativity and where this, project is going, and his ambition to keep it going in different directions and wherever it goes. That's awesome. That's awesome for a project. That's awesome to have, that be the person in charge, with that much drive and ambition. That's great. That's just why this project is flourishing. And everybody that I've talked to has just had so much fun being part of it. We first brought on Mason X, and he was just great, telling us all the stuff that he his past, but also what he did with the Kill City Cup and his character, and then we brought in David Mercury, and he showed us all the stuff he did with the Doctor. And like I said, we plan on bringing a few more guests, but like I said, though, these characters, they just really come to life on the screen, even if they're not the wrestler that you're used to seeing. They might be out of place, running something a little bit different than you're normally used to seeing on the scene, and that's what you get here. And like a perfect example is the Zipped Monk. He's an awesome character, really creepy, really spooky, just mind blowing, and good wrestling, both the character work and wrestling just put together. And then you also got, superstar talent out there like the Machine, Brian Cage. He is a machine, literally. I've been blessed to meet him a few times out in Jersey. And, he's a really nice guy, great to talk to, really down to earth. But I wouldn't want to be standing across the ring from him, especially the way he is dressed in Kill City Cup. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, this guy, he puts Schwarzenegger to shame sometimes, I swear. There's nothing that, he is the true Terminator. But, you have all these other characters too. There's just so many of them, like I said, that came into the show and, was so just made it flourish. I really, 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 enjoy that. When I get to see characters kind of do something different, I'm going to go back to that for a second. It really kind of, gets me in, to see them, how dynamic they can be. It's one to play one role, and sometimes you see that in wrestling, you'll see a one role character and it works for a long time. And then sometimes you'll see them, switch. They'll be, they'll go face to heel or heel to face. And that might work too, depending, and they might go back and forth. But to see someone totally do something totally different and then pull it off very, very, very well, and almost, in some instances perfect, and then, have it go back to, their normal self and somewhere else and do that perfect. It's just like, wow, that's impressive. And, I saw that a lot in this movie. And I am going to call it a movie. It's more than just a show. And that's what I was going to say, with the storylines and watching it and following it, it is a movie. It is a full, feature. It has, a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has, a nemesis. It has all the classic, features of a film. Is it a good film? Hell yeah, it's a good film. It's a great film. There hasn't been probably a better wrestling film since No Holds Barred. It was Hulk Hogan and Zeus going head to head in the bar. And, this would be like if that corporation had, moved their whole fight to, Kill City, and Kill Corp was under control, and Mr. Kill ran that. That's kind of like how this would be, if it went down in the future. From No Holds Barred, it has that. There is no rules in this. That's another thing. There's no rules. It's very, aggressive style of fighting. There's combatants, not just wrestlers. I call them combatants because some of these people are just there to do battle. They're not there to wrestle. But yet we also got very technical wrestlers, like the Doctor. He is very technical, and you heard our interview. He has that kind of style. So I mean, it's a great mix, and with all that, it makes it very entertaining. You don't get bored. Like I said, I've watched it now probably, and I'm not even joking. I probably watched it maybe like 35 times, honestly. It's not very long, but But I probably have watched it like 35 times just because I do enjoy the actual show. I like the commentary. I like, the little segments in between. Mr. Kill's, just commentary himself is just hilarious to me. Very funny. Very entertaining. His, some of his one-liners and things he says is just, hilarious. Great character. Wish we could get him someday on the podcast. And a few of the other people, but I do know that we are getting some of the other combatants coming on soon, so we are excited for that because this is going to keep steaming and rolling. This is going to be, like we said, some people are saying we don't know when, but there is such something in the works for the future. This isn't just a one and done, a one-hit wonder, and so with that, you want to keep this rolling. So I love to promote this show. I love to, show this show to my friends, show this show to people that might not know about it, because it is something so different that it works. And it works beautifully. I get it, not everybody might be a fan of this style of wrestling, this, this cinematic kind of blend and, wanky kind of wonky characters that aren't, super realistic or athletes, I get that, but it is also wrestling, and wrestling to me is also an art form, right? Pro wrestling is an art form. It's been that way since I've been a kid. Wrestlers have come out to entertain with the use of, wrestling and fighting, and also, jokes and, entrances, exits, skits, promos, all of that combined. And, this really brings that home for that. It just has it all. It has everything. It has everything that I could personally like in pro wrestling put together in a nice, compact, tournament. And this is what it is. And I just, like I said, I really do enjoy it. I hope everybody else enjoys it, And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to post the link, in the section here underneath, so you can check it out, because I do want people to watch it and see what they think. And again, thank you everybody for coming, that have come on my show from Death City, Kill City, sorry, Kill City. But like I said, I really appreciate that. It's been just a great pleasure talking to you guys, getting to know you all, and kind of just getting to know the whole story and talking, even with Luke and such. So thank you, everybody. Again, 5 stars. Well, that's actually 10, right? 5 stars review right there. That it's a good movie. And I'm a big fan, like I said, not just, wrestling. I'm a big fan of horror. I'm a big fan of, even like older style, horror, like black and white film, and some of the more like sci-fi kind of just bad horror, but this isn't even like that. It is very well produced. It's very well done. It's very well filmed. It's a really good movie. Check it out, though. Versace Stoner, out.
Welcome to the Kill City Cup. By the balls.